And back on Base Sunday now. After traveling across the United States, Europe, Russia, and the Middle East, our next guest realized something that had happened at just about every place he visited. The locals like their restaurants and they like their bars. They go there to find a sense of purpose, maybe a little magic and a reason for keeping on, a sense of spirituality that resonates worldwide. So why not write a book? And he did. A guide to bars and nightlife in the sacred city. From San Francisco to Venice, a 51-city tour, he collected a number of short stories that will inspire and surprise you a little bit. The author with us today, the bar columnist for the San Francisco Weekly, Benjamin Wachs. How are you?
Oh, doing good.
So a lot can happen when you buy someone a drink, apparently, right?
Especially if it's a stranger. That's an amazing thing that you do. You're basically asking the world, make something interesting happen. If I buy this person a drink, let something happen. One of my favorite things in the world is when somebody, a complete stranger in a bar, interrupts me and says, I couldn't help but hear what you were just saying, and I have something to say about that. That can go so wrong, but it can also make something amazing happen.
And goes so right.
So right.
The idea. Now, when did you travel, and was the premise to go on this journey to write a book, or it just kind of happened, right?
I was at a point in my life where things were not going right. I was not happy with where I was. So I sat myself down one day, asked myself, what is it I really want to be doing? I mean, if I could really do something. I meditated a bit, and the answer just came to me, I want to see the world. I want to travel. So I gave up all the jobs I was doing. I was doing some radio stuff, some newspaper stuff. I was in graduate school at the time. I dropped out of my MA program and just started traveling around. And lo and behold, sometimes good things happen. I got a gig writing about nightlife on a freelance basis for Playboy.com, which was, the internet was, relatively new those days. And
it's a big deal.
It was a huge deal for me, and it paid my way to go around and see the world.
So that's what provided the funds to go from city to city?
Basically, yeah. I mean, when you added up all the expenses, I wasn't really making money, but I had enough money to go to the next
whatever
place.
It takes.
And the next, exactly.
All right, we're going to Istanbul today. Let's go see.
That's what it was. I was in Moscow, and I said, you know what, I think Istanbul will be next. And so I just went there.
So there was no itinerary. You just kind of threw fate in the wind and said,
I like to say I was going on a pilgrimage to a destination not of my choosing. It really was, okay, I'm in this city, in this country, this day. I'll go there next. I'll go there next. Sometimes this got me in trouble with security at the border. They really didn't like that in Israel.
What is your purpose here? Yeah. I don't know.
The Israeli customs people did not believe that I was a traveling nightlife reporter for Playboy. They kept me there for about 3 hours going, come on, really? Really? It was a little uncomfortable, but they let me through eventually.
So you write a series of short stories and publish this book. Tell us some of the more unusual places you went.
Well, I think honestly, it's not so much about the place as about who you are in the place, what you're experiencing when you were there. And so it wasn't just that Moscow was a weird and interesting place. It was that I was at a weird and interesting place in my life when I went there, and the two combined, and that kind of made magic happen. Similarly, in Istanbul, sure, the Sultanate region of Istanbul is a fascinating place where you can walk from ancient relic to ancient relic, and there's a nightclub somewhere in between for tourists. But it was also who I was when I was there and what I was going through in my life. The thing that I tell people about traveling, about opening yourself up to the possibility of something miraculous happening is it's an active process. You can't just go there and say, okay, let's let something happen. You have to go there and buy that stranger a drink.
Right, you've got to open your mouth or open a door or buy a drink.
Right, you've got to walk up to a stranger in a bar and say, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying, and I have something to say about that.
Well, I bartended for a number of years, 5 years before I got into television, and it gives you access to people.
Yeah.
When you're bartending, you have a reason to just walk into their conversation and say hi. Well, it's always fun.
The truth is that nobody really goes to bars for the drinks. Okay, maybe there are a couple bars you go to because the drinks are just that good. But if you're really in it for the alcohol, you stay home and drink. I mean, or you invite a friend over. You go there. If you're going out, the whole point is that you're going out. You are asking for something to happen. You are asking for something that is outside of your routine, your rut, your moment in time to happen, and maybe, just maybe, it can be miraculous.
Is there a common thread between, say, the Middle East and Europe and Russia and the U.S., through all the bars and restaurants?
Well, that's why I actually called this the Sacred City, because I felt like after a certain point they all connect. Maybe not on a map, but they all connect in the experience of them. If you go deep enough into a bar, into the nightlife of any of these places, then you come to a sort of common place that they all have, a common experience that you get out of it. Yeah, I really think they do.
Most exotic experience for you?
Most exotic experience for me.
That you can talk about?
Well, there is that.
That did make the book? Or strangers? Or were you ever in any danger?
Oh yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, I was when I was in Moscow. I was in a VIP room, and it turned out the guy I was talking to was a black arms dealer in helicopter parts.
Oh,
and,
very good.
He wanted me to go clubbing with him, and I thought, I don't know, maybe this is a thing I can do. On the other hand, then I was actually at a bar in Istanbul. I was held there by gangsters who wanted to argue over my drink tab. That was the scam, is that they didn't have prices for drinks on the menu, and then when you said, okay, I'm ready to go, they said that you're 2 or 3 drinks, we're going to charge you $1,500. And I've been told about this. I mean, you know, and so I decided to argue with them, and so they grabbed me and they moved me into a little room off the side, and they said, why are you trying to cheat us out of our drinks? And I said, really? I'm cheating you? And we went through this whole, 50-minute thing, and finally I got out of there. I gave them $60. That was.
See you later.
I haggled them down. Yeah.
30 seconds or less. What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I am at my best when I am actively participating in my own life, and I learned that pilgrimages are incredibly scary, but it's worth taking the risk.
Awesome. Benjamin, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I recommend the book. If you'd like more information about author Benjamin Wachs, log on to waxgallery.com. That's waxgallery.com. That's it for this edition of Bay Sunday. Hope you enjoyed the show, folks. We'll see you again next Sunday. Take care.